Right now, in the Middle East, something strange is happening. Iran isn't using stealth bombers. It isn't launching expensive cruise missiles. It's using cheap, noisy suicide drones. And somehow, those drones are forcing billion-dollar American air defense systems like Patriot and THAAD to burn through interceptors like they're disposable.
The FBI alerting authorities that Iran wants to strike the U.S. homeland, possibly launching attack drones in the West.
Iran has the expertise, the personnel, the access to equipment to conduct a drone attack here in the United States. Now it has the incentive.
Over 1,000 drones were fired at the UAE in just one 24-hour period. The Shahed drones are cheap, they're abundant, and they keep coming.
The FBI warning of possible Iranian drone attacks on our homeland. A new alert reviewed by ABC News revealing Iran's aspirations to conduct a surprise attack specifically against unspecified targets in California. The FBI saying it's warned police departments across the Golden State now of strikes by unmanned aerial vehicles or drones as tensions rise in the Middle East.
Iran is aspiring now to perhaps launch some kind of a retaliatory attack on the U.S. mainland using drones.
In just 2 weeks, Iran launched thousands of Shahed drones, and suddenly the math of modern warfare started breaking. So what's really going on here? To understand that, we need to break down the 7 levels of suicide drones, from garage-built killers to battlefield architects. At the bottom, we have the simplest, and ironically, one of the most dangerous. These are FPV drones like Ukraine's Wild Hornet. They're not built in factories, they're built in garages. They cost around $500, carry a few pounds of explosives, and rely entirely on a human operator flying them like a video game. And yet, they've destroyed tanks, artillery, and trenches with terrifying precision. Because they don't win with power, they win with volume. Thousands of them, everywhere. Weakness: they're fragile, easy to jam, and heavily dependent on pilot skill. But that doesn't matter, because at this level, the strategy isn't perfection, it's overwhelming. Now we move up, from chaos to control. The Switchblade 600 gives infantry something FPVs can't: precision with reliability. It carries an anti-tank warhead derived from the Javelin missile, meaning it can punch through armor directly. It loiters, it watches, and then it strikes from above. Unlike FPVs, this isn't just a flying bomb. It's a guided hunter. Ukrainian forces have used it to destroy high-value targets deep behind enemy lines. Weakness: expensive, vulnerable to jamming. This is no longer about numbers. It's about choosing the right target. Now the battlefield changes. Because at this level, drones don't hunt tanks. They hunt radars. Israel's Harop was designed for one job: find enemy air defense and kill it. It can loiter for hours, waiting patiently. The moment a radar turns on, even for a second, it locks on and dives. This changes everything. Because now the enemy has a choice: turn on their defenses and die, or turn them off and become blind. Weakness: expensive, requires intelligence and coordination. But this is where drones stop being tactical tools and start shaping entire battlefields. This is where things get dangerous, because the Zala Lancet is not the most advanced drone. It's the most balanced. Cheap enough to use in large numbers, accurate enough to hit high-value targets, and deadly enough to destroy tanks, artillery, and even air defense systems. Russia has used it thousands of times with high success rates. This is the sweet spot, Not too expensive, not too simple, just good enough at scale. Weakness, limited range, vulnerable to jamming. But it doesn't need perfection. It just needs to keep hitting. Now we leave tactics behind and enter economics. The Shahed 136 is not impressive. It's slow, loud, and inaccurate. Its hit rate in Ukraine hovered around 2 to 3%. And yet, it might be the most dangerous drone on this list. Because each one costs $20,000 to $35,000. And each interceptor used to shoot it down costs millions. So every time Iran launches a swarm, the enemy is forced into a losing trade. Thousands versus millions. This isn't a weapon, it's a financial attack on the enemy's defense system. Weakness, low precision, but it doesn't need to hit. It just needs to be launched. Now we evolved the Shahed concept. The US looked at it and scaled it. The Lucas drone is essentially a smarter, connected version of the Shahed. It can fly hundreds of miles. It can coordinate with other drones. It can share targeting data. This is no longer a swarm. This is a network. Multiple drones acting as one system, hitting command nodes, logistics, and infrastructure simultaneously. Weakness, heavily dependent on communication networks. If those fail, the system collapses. But when it works, it turns drones into distributed warfare platforms. At the top, drones stop being weapons. They become systems of war. The Altius 600M isn't just a suicide drone. It's part of a larger ecosystem. It can be deployed from land, sea, or air. It can travel hundreds of miles. And one operator can control multiple drones at once. These drones don't just strike. They gather intelligence. They jam communications. They coordinate attacks. They operate across the entire battlefield. At this level, the drone isn't reacting to war. It's designing how the war is fought. Weakness requires advanced infrastructure, intelligence, and coordination. But that's the point. This isn't for small units. This is for nations shaping entire conflicts. And this is exactly where India is heading, toward a three-layer drone warfare doctrine. At the top are long-range strategic strike drones like Harop and Harp from Israel, designed to hunt enemy radars and air defenses, alongside emerging indigenous systems like Shahed 150 and Project Kaal that aim to strike deep inside enemy territory. In the middle layer sit battlefield precision weapons like Sky Striker, built in India through an Israel joint venture, along with indigenous systems like Nagastra 1, Nagastra 1R and ALS-50, used for targeted strikes against troops, artillery and tactical positions. And at the bottom is the mass layer. Cheaper, scalable systems like Poland's Warmate, India's JM-1 micro-loitering munition and swarm systems like ASADs, designed to overwhelm defenses through sheer numbers. Together, this mix of imported and indigenous systems, along with next-generation drones still under development, shows a clear shift towards scalable, autonomous warfare. And that's the real shift happening right now. War is no longer about who has the most powerful weapons. It's about who can scale cheaply, adapt quickly, and force the enemy into impossible decisions. From $500 FPVs to network autonomous swarms, suicide drones have quietly rewritten the rules of modern warfare. And if you want to understand where this is heading next, follow Periscope, where we break down the systems behind global power, strategy, and conflict. Because in today's world, the real war isn't just being fought on the battlefield. It's being designed before it even begins.